definition of blood just traveling through your whole body, through your veins?
Yeah, red blood cells carry oxygen throughout your body.
What was your question again, Skylar?
I said that doesn't the white blood cells protect your body and the red blood cells carry blood and like oxygen and through your veins to travel through your body to make your body work?
You really should look at Cells at Work. I think you would really enjoy that show.
And that's on Netflix, Cells at Work.
These cute little red cells. They got these cute little boudet hats or whatever they call them. And like they carry the food and the oxygen. And then the white blood cells, they look like real anime characters. They like their whole body is white. And they like fight off these viruses. You really should watch it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
By the way, what's your question?
I was gonna ask, like, the only difference between RNA and DNA is the thymine.
Is it what?
The only difference between RNA and DNA is the thymine.
Yep. Instead of thymine, RNA has uracil, so it's the nucleoside basis. And also, RNA is most of the time RNA is a single. What do they call it? A single. I'm forgetting all my words today. So you know how DNA is a double nucleus, but RNA is just one. So it has one with the bases hanging off, whereas DNA has two with both bases. And and the oxygen. RNA is oxygenated and DNA is deoxygenated. So it's three different differences between the two. And yeah. You got another question? Okay.
So when you do go to the place that you go to learn about the body system, do you also learn about EpiPens and how the heart, white blood cells, red blood cells, how the eye core works, and also how what is it called? So do you know that when you go to the doctor's office, how they only use the flat one for your eyes, because the other one that's for your ears, it can poke your eye out, and then your core eye can get damaged really bad, and then that's why they only use the flat one, and they don't use the other flat one for your ears because it's hard to see through your ears.
So your question, don't forget your question, okay? So your question, when I couldn't start work until I took the classes.
Took what?
Until I took the classes. So the classes taught me, like I took a test today. Oh my God. The classes teach you like how to make the drugs for specific stuff like eyes or for your liver or for your skin or for a pill or for under your tongue or injections. So they teach you all these different drugs, what they do to your body, how they excrete or how they leave your body, and then they teach you limitations. They teach you precautions, things you should look out for. But once you're done taking the classes and then you're just doing the work, like right now I'm doing the work in the lab, then it's all up to you. So right now I'm working on liver tissue samples. So we take actual liver from people from I think Henry Ford Hospital, and they take the tissue sample. They take the tissue samples, and then what I'm looking for is like metals inside of that tissue sample. I can look for the metals, but also it's up to me to do my own reading and my own research to figure out what happens with those metals. And then at the end, once I'm done with all of the work that they paid me to do, at the end is whether or not I can present that work to say, oh, this is what I learned, and whether or not they say okay or not. So it's a long process, but yeah, they teach you a little bit in the beginning, but afterwards it's all up to you. That's a good question. What's your question?
My question is there multiple episodes?
Oh,
What do you say?
Is it multiple episodes for Cells at Work? That's what you're talking about, Cells at Work?
About where did you see that Cells at Work? Was it?
It's on Netflix.
I know, but who told you?
Who taught me about it? My cousin. Her name is Brianna too. She lives in New Orleans, and I was going to New Orleans to visit her, and she was like, "You should watch anime." And I was like, "I don't like anime." And she's like, "You probably like this one." And then she turned it on. I liked it. Now, Cells at Work, they only have one season, and I think it's maybe 10 episodes. But they only got one season. It was made years ago. They're not gonna give us no more, and y'all should really watch it before they take it off of Netflix. Because they don't want us to see stuff like that. You got another question? Go for it.
Do they teach you what's inside of an EpiPen? What's inside of an EpiPen?
No, I haven't learned about EpiPens yet and what's inside of it. I don't think that's something that they're gonna teach me because next semester is my last semester and it's drug delivery.
Yeah, EpiPens are a drug. So when you have like an allergic reaction, it's a giant needle.
Right.
And it's that, so you put it in your leg or your arm, whatever. It takes away the allergic reaction, puts it in the EpiPen, and then you have people, if they have like allergies, they can always bring EpiPen with them. And I know another show that you should watch.
Okay, which one?
You should watch Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it about?
So Dr. Mike, he is a family doctor. He talks about blood cells. He's a doctor. He does gaming. He does life. Then he watches medical shows and see how overrated they are and how fake they're doing.
It's on Netflix?
No, YouTube.
YouTube. Okay, Dr. Mike. Sounds interesting.
Because he is.
What's your question?
I want to know what is your what I want to know is, could you give us some pointers on how to study? I mean, how to study. How are you able to study and retain all this information? Do you have a quiet area? Do you do time management? We need to know how to study so we can maximize our grade and our learning capacity.
I'm still learning how to study. I obviously am not great at it because I still am not good at grades. But I think you gotta find what works for you. Of course, I'm a chemist, so I look at chemicals. So I love essential oils. And something that I've been using a lot is lemongrass essential oil because it helps you retain and it helps you remember and it helps you focus. So get you an oil burner. This is just what I do. It may not work for everybody else, but get you an oil burner or a diffuser and put like 5 to 10 drops of that lemongrass essential oil in there. Burn it while you're let it do its thing while you're studying. A lot of people have to eliminate distractions, but I'm a different kind of learner. I have to have a healthy distraction, is something that I call it. So I like listening to jazz music. Sometimes I might put I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I put on in the background a Netflix show. I know I shouldn't, but it helps me because with my mind, the way my mind works is, it's like I got a million stuff going on, and if I don't have something that keeps me still, keeps me focused, then I might study for 5 minutes, and then my brain has wandered off to something else. So I use healthy distractions, I use the essential oils, and then I have a little snack. So almonds help with memory. I make sure to have my water with me, and I may put a drop of peppermint in there. Almonds help with memory. Sunflower seeds help with memory, and also that chewing and stuff keeps me from falling asleep. So I have a healthy snack, a healthy distraction, essential oils, and I take notes. I don't know if you guys heard of this, the note method. I forget what they call it, but if you take your notebook and you got this space right here in your notebook, you got a top space, and you use this for your notes. I draw pictures and use my area right here for like the big notes, and then over here I make all the key comments or questions that I have, and that really helps me to like go back and look at the questions that I have if I was able to answer them. And what else? And I like to teach. So, like my dad always taught me, teaching is how you retain. So once I'm done studying something, then I have to tell somebody about it, or I have to explain it to somebody and see if it makes sense to them. If it makes sense to them, then it makes sense to me. And I gotta study with other people. You can never just study by yourself. You can study by yourself most of the time, but you have to study with somebody else, like teach somebody else. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, okay, so I already know about this question, but
You know everything. But
so why do they call it the small intestine and the big intestine, but when the big intestine is smaller than the small intestine? Because
Well,
the small intestine is bigger.
Skylar, she's a chemist, not a.
Yeah.
She's not a medical doctor. She's a chemist.
But I can see the body that you're talking about, and I don't know. Maybe it's because.
Why, Skylar? I know you know.
Oh yeah, tell me.
Because I watched Dr. Mike.
You say what? She watched what?
She watches Dr. Mike.
Well, tell us. What's the difference between us?
So the difference between us, the difference between the small intestine and the big intestine, because the small intestine is like where it like goes like really like goes through the body, and then the big intestine is where, let's say you're eating carrots, then you go down, it goes down the throat, it goes into the big intestine. So in the big intestine, there's acid. So the acid, only reason why it doesn't burn your whole body through a hole through your body is because the acid and the stomach has like a type of flesh that contains the acid, so it doesn't burn through. And so after the acid breaks down all the food, it goes into the small intestines and it goes through, the rest of the body.
That's fascinating.
Okay, everybody. Thank you very much.